Hey, what's up? This your boy Big Man. You already know what it is, man. So let's get right to it. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about G Herbo. Now, G Herbo, for those of you who don't know, is a Chicago drill MC, and he's probably one of the most popular names out of Chicago rap right now. He's got a whole bunch of clout, and he takes breaks in between albums, so it makes it even that much more interesting. Now, G Herbo's name has been thrown in a lot of drama recently, but it looks like when it comes to his fake case that's been held over his head, man, things have gotten complicated. And when I say complicated, I mean worse, because it looks like the charges against G Herbo are starting to stack up against him, man. Now, G Herbo had a case that came down back in December, man, when everything was going crazy in hip hop. I don't know if you guys remember, but December was a super busy month. You had rappers passing away, you had rappers getting locked up, and man, G Herbo was in the group of the latter. Now, G Herbo definitely has a situation on his hands now with these new charges that came down, but before we get to the specifics, do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and man, let's get it. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about G Herbo just a little bit. Now, for those of you who don't know or just don't remember, G Herbo had a fake case on his hands, and he still does. It's hanging over his head. Now, they've been going through everything, and it looked like it was going to get pinned on one of his homeboys to take the fall for the whole case. But it looks like they caught G Herbo up and said that he messed up by lying to an officer. Now, when they say officer, they also say he's a special agent. Now, for those of you who need some catching up, let me catch you up on exactly what happened. Now, the rapper G Herbo, basically with 5 other friends, got charged for using stolen credit cards and using the info on the credit cards to purchase flights, vacations to Jamaica, and designer puppies. I know you're like, what in the world, designer puppies? But yes, that's for real. Designer puppies was in the indictment. Now, to be real, after everything cleared and G Herbo turned himself in, it started to look like this thing might go in G Herbo's way, because there was another guy, I want to say his last name is Strong, and it seemed like he was kind of taking responsibility for everything without taking responsibility for everything. But G Herbo might have just made a critical mistake in the case. Now, I'm going to go by this report from the Chicago Sun-Times, and this is what it says basically. Now, the heading says, G Herbo charged with lying to federal agent during wire fraud investigation. Now, it continues to say, Herbo, whose real name is Herbert Wright III, already told a federal agent in November 2018 that he never knew or worked with rap promoter Antonio Strong, who was among 5 people indicted with him in December. Now, like I said before, the indictment goes back to December, and Antonio Strong was kind of like the promoter in the group and something other than that, and he was actually the dude I think that was going to take most of the charges. Now, G Herbo has been doing a lot to clean up his image since this came down. He's been doing all sorts of volunteer work. He's been doing all sorts of community outreach. But just recently, a video leaked of him in a crazy situation back in Chicago a couple of years ago. Now, for some reason with rappers, when this stuff happens, it always has like that when it rains, it pours kind of analogy type to it, right? It's like first there's some video that leaks, then there's other things on the case, and everything gets compiled together to make the rapper not even want to look at social media, I bet. Now, G Herbo seems to have kept quiet this whole time. Even when he goes live on social media, he's usually in his house watching movies and watching TV. I noticed that about G Herbo. Like, he's always debating about movies and stuff like that, and he's kind of doing the family man thing because he's got Fabulous's Fabulous's stepdaughter pregnant, and they should be expecting their child soon. Now, G Herbo, for all intents and purposes, seems like he's been doing his best to try to cooperate, but this whole lying thing is seen to come back to bite him. Now, the story continues like this. It says local rapper G Herbo, and remember this is the Sun-Times in Chicago, was accused Tuesday of lying to a federal agent, adding a 3rd charge to an indictment that already includes allegations of fraud and identity theft. Herbo, whose real name is Herbert Wright III, allegedly told a federal agent in November 2018 that he never knew or worked with rap promoter Antonio Strong, who was among 5 people indicted with him in December. This story seems to keep repeating itself. Now, Strong identified himself as Wright's manager when he allegedly used stolen credit card information and IDs to pay for private jets, expensive meals, designer puppies, beginning in March of 2016. You see, I'm going to stop right there. You see how with the digital age, man, if you're doing any kind of scamming or stuff like that, there's an electronic footprint. You're not getting away with it. Now, I'm not saying they did this and they're responsible for these crimes, but it seems to have, they like the folks who are investigating this have been tracking their traces or whatnot just to get to them. Now, according to the indictment filed in the U.S. District Court in Springfield, Massachusetts, Wright allegedly told a federal agent that he had no relationship with Strong, personal or professional, when in reality, he paid Strong for work and received valuable goods from Strong, including private jet charters, luxury accommodations, and exotic car rentals. The prosecutor's office said he also alleged that he also allegedly had frequent conversations with Strong over the phone, via text, and on Instagram. Prosecutors said Wright faces up to 5 years in prison if convicted, along with 3 years of supervised release and a $250,000 fine, prosecutors said. Now let's stop right there. A $250,000 fine just doesn't seem like a lot of money for G Herbo. Now, I'm not counting his pockets, but G Herbo seems to be doing all right out here in this rap game since, Chicago drill is at the forefront and a couple of features seem like they could cover that price. It's just those 5 years, man, because in 5 years, the fans will definitely have moved on, and especially if you're not like an imprint artist where you just had this lasting imprint where they're going to have to come back to you later. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if G Herbo has that type of fan base, even though cats really, really mess with Herbo. You know what I mean? Now, finally, the story says this. It says the Southside native has been a staple in Chicago's drill scene since he was a teenager in the early 2010s, helping the local rap genre grow to international prominence alongside frequent collaborators like Chief Keef and Lil Durk. And, Lil Durk and Chief Keef are doing big things right now. Now, they talk about his album PTSD that came out last year, and they said, though the rapper has been slapped with weapons and battery charges in recent years, he's most recently made headlines for community outreach on the South Side, hosting food drives, back-to-school giveaways in West Fulham and Bronzeville. So that goes back to saying that it looks like G Herbo, man, he had moved on from the situation until these new charges came down. So I don't know what G Herbo and his crew are going to do, but it definitely doesn't look good. So what do you guys think, man? Do you think that G Herbo getting these additional charges of lying to a special agent is going to make him cave or fold in any way? Or is he going to keep doing what he was doing as far as community outreach, being a family man, and just try to fight this standing up? Now, with that, this has been your boy Big Man. Do me a favor. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And, man, make sure you hit that notification bell so that way you get a notification every time I drop this hot content. And we out of here. Peace.